9 or something instead. He never went back. Because he didn't have the money, you know, he was given, the church was paying for him to come here and learn.
Yeah.
So in the game,
the path. This particular section of the forum.
historians don't like
So this
that.
one?
Yeah, but I think
The church?
Yeah, we'll see. Most
Okay, also the one of the facade of the church that we just walked by.
Here I have a view on the forum. I don't know if you can. These are our video taken from the game. So here you can see these columns there of the Senator Palace. We have also the tower that we'll see later on for the Trajan Market. Here is the Colosseum. You can see in the back. So it's pretty much similar. The only big difference is the fact that the ground at that time was higher than these days, simply because there were no excavations. So there are also less ruins and buildings visible. Here is the Arch of Titus, and on the right you have the Palatine Hill visible just in front of us. Just in the back you have the Circus Maximus. So it's pretty much close, it's pretty much truthful to what we can see in reality, and it's pretty much realistic in terms of the lighting effects and the atmosphere.
Basically, the fortress is almost impregnable. Ezio manages to save Caterina Sforza, who was kidnapped by Cesare Borgia from the palace. You will remember her from AC2 if you played that, but she was the Countess of Forlì, and Cesare basically took over her territory in his war in Romagna and brings her home kind of as a chattel. And was very proud of having captured her and takes her into the palace and imprisons her. So you go through the Castel and you rescue her from the dungeons and having Frizia, meeting with Pietro, the character who plays Jesus in the Colosseum Passion. You encounter her having a tryst with him up in the gardens. So when you play this sequence, it's really like you're experiencing their lives. You climb up through the Castel and you're seeing Cesare talking to various people, and then you see him ride away on a horse underneath you as you're climbing. So you kind of get to live a slice of these people's lives, which I feel like is very unique to interactive fiction. It's very cool because you get to see that kind of thing in a movie and really get a sense of how the space was used by the people who lived in it. And later, once Caterina's taken, the security is up, and there are French guards that are placed on the bridge here, keeping Ezio from entering. So Ezio has to come up with a very complex plan that involves, stopping Cesare's funding by assassinating the banker and several other people that ultimately allow him, getting the key to the Castel and ultimately accessing it again and have a chance at assassinating Rodrigo and Cesare.
We're in front of the Castel Sant'Angelo. It's one of the biggest and the most important landmarks in the game, as it's the lair and the HQ of the villain of the game, Rodrigo Borgia. It's also one of the important landmarks because there is an outside, but there's also an interior that is pretty big, one of the biggest interiors we've ever had in any City of Assassin's Creed game. There are also different styles and different architectures. We can find, as you can see, there are kind of 3 layers. One layer that's dating with big decayed stones dating from antique Rome. There's also another one with small bricks, and on the top we can see some some fancy drawings. This is more the Renaissance. We try to recreate that same feeling of 3 layers in the game, which is quite interesting. What we've added also in the game is a huge pole with a big flag on the top, a big flag with wind simulation and movements, which is really interesting. This flag is visible from every corner of Rome, and this is very interesting because it teases the player to see the huge pole and teases him to think about climbing it. So this pole is the highest point we've ever had in any Assassin's Creed game, and from this pole you have a huge and splendid view on the whole city. So you can see from this pole you can see the Pantheon, you can see the Colosseum, you can see even the ramparts surrounding the city, and also the hills beyond the ramparts, which is really, really interesting.